the Ethiopian government will repatriate its citizens that were stuck in Riyadh. Riyadh is the capital of Saudi Arabia. A lot of Ethiopians travel to many different countries, especially in the Middle East, looking for better life. I mean, like many Africans leave Africa, going to Europe, England, France, Belgium, Germany, you name it, looking for a better life. Ethiopians find their Garden of Eden in Riyadh, or mostly in many Middle Eastern countries. So unfortunately, many people go there, especially maids and helpers or domestic workers. They get in trouble very much. You know, when you're an African, in many places in the world, unfortunately, you're not treated very nicely. Okay. So now they have decided to bring them back to the country because enough is enough. And this is a very good thing. We encourage it. So Ethiopia will repatriate 70,000 of its nationals living in Saudi Arabia starting early April. State Minister Birtukan Hayawo said the repatriation is a third since 2018. So they've been doing this already. There was a couple of years ago, they brought some ladies back from Lebanon. A lot of them were suffering. They were going through some very difficult time. According to the government dispatch, repatriation expenses will include a flight ticket, temporary holding in transition centers in Addis Ababa, and some money to restart life. So flight ticket, they're going to pay a flight ticket for you to come back to your country. They will hold you temporarily in Addis Ababa, so feed you, get you together, and also sponsor you some money so you can start something. You can restart your life, basically. Congratulations. I mean, as much as we have negative things to say about many things, I think this is a very good move by the Ethiopian government. So we're going to try to find out what are the reasons why these people go to Saudi Arabia. So Ethiopians travel illegally to Saudi Arabia for complex and mixed reasons. Here are some of the reasons why they go to Saudi Arabia. Ethiopia faces challenges like unemployment, poverty, and draft. This lack of economic opportunity and home pushes people to seek jobs abroad. So because things are very difficult in Ethiopia right now, many people choose to go in some different countries. And some of them, unfortunately, choose to go to some countries where they clearly not treated appropriately. I mean, we can all agree that in Europe, most of the times, people can get some sort of a fair treatment. I'm just being realistic here. Compared to many other countries you can go to. Yes, if you have no support in Europe, they're probably going to treat you most likely appropriately compared to how you're going to be treated in Saudi Arabia or Lebanon as an African. Do we agree on that? The second reason why many of them go to Saudi Arabia is Saudi Arabia offers jobs, a lot of jobs for many of these people in construction, domestic work, and other sectors, attracting Ethiopians despite the risk of irregular migration. So there are plenty of jobs available for many people, and a lot of Ethiopians choose to go to Saudi Arabia for these opportunities. So as we know, Ethiopian women choose to go and become domestic workers in the Middle East, primarily due to a combination of economic hardships in Ethiopia and the potential for higher wages abroad. They feel like by going to Saudi Arabia, because it's a country so rich, they're going to have an opportunity to get a job as a domestic worker or as a maid or as a helper with high wages. I mean, as compared to trying to find the same kind of jobs in Africa where you barely can make it till the end of the month. They will rather take the risk to go through hardships but earn a good amount of money so they can support their family needs. So even though it has been reported and some Ethiopians go to Saudi Arabia to become nurses alongside South Africans and many other nations, one of the main jobs for which many Ethiopian ladies go to Saudi Arabia, it's domestic help. So the third reason why Ethiopians go to Saudi Arabia, so the money is good. In Saudi Arabia, even the low-skilled jobs are often significantly higher than what Ethiopians can earn home. So great opportunity for them. And I can imagine when you had so many hardships and difficulties, your family will encourage you. So just go ahead, maybe you can help us get out of this misery. So, I know it's very difficult for many people who have never experienced anything as difficult as this, because you don't understand how can somebody leave their home to go to a different country where, racism is rampant just to expose themselves and put themselves in danger. It's very difficult if you've never really suffered, to understand, the needs for a person to say, you know what, I'm going to leave my mom with my child. I'm going to a foreign country. Hopefully we can have food every day. Hopefully I can finance that boy to go to school. And once you become a parent and you have a child and you've experienced hardships to that level, that's when perhaps you can open the doors to understanding, what kind of pressure that is. I don't think these people just go because they want to go. They evaluate, certainly after many years of reflecting, is this worth it? They get to a point where they go like, you know what, my mom is ill, my father is absent, whatever the situation is, I don't know what to do, I just have to go. And they go. Those are three of the many reasons Ethiopians choose to go to the Middle East to try to find a better life. So unfortunately, there's a lot of reports of abuse. Many of these people go there and they suffer. There is what they call the Kafala. Okay, before you come to a Middle East country, they probably have to do Kafala with you. Kafala sponsorship system ties a migrant worker's legal status to their employer. This creates a power, unfortunately, of imbalance and makes the worker vulnerable to abuse. There have been numerous reports of exploitation, including withheld wages, physical and verbal abuses. I don't know if you've seen that before. There's been videos emerging online where a boss has been trying to sexually assault a maid, and she was recording it without him knowing about it. And this woman was married. Okay, she's a married Ugandan woman, went to the Middle East to work, and whilst the madam of the house was absent, the husband was trying to do something with her, and she just happened to record it. So the Kafala, unfortunately, also includes very long working hours and restricted movement. In order for you to get a job in these countries, sometimes you have to sign this Kafala, this contract. Unfortunately, the contract is never a fair contract. It's always weighs more on the side of the employer. So you don't have many rights. They're probably going to hold or withhold your passport. And when you don't have your passport in a foreign country, what happens? You cannot run away even when they mistreat you. Okay, they can withhold your wages, not pay you because of whatever reason they choose. They can make you work for 18 hours and many other things. And unfortunately, many of these people feel like they have to comply with this just in order to have some money to send back home, at due time. Okay, so for some of you who don't know who Ethiopians are renowned for being very hard worker. Okay, very, very good with whatever they do. And Ethiopians are not just domestic workers. They're actually very good businessmen in general. In most African countries, actually everywhere in the world, when you find Ethiopians working in business, they're usually excellent, always above average. In Uganda, for instance, you'll find them in many types of businesses. Some of the most impressive restaurants in Uganda are Ethiopians. Yes, you will see them in agriculture. Ethiopian companies are involved in the production and export of coffee, sesame seed, and flowers to Uganda. You will see them again in manufacturing. Ethiopian firms are involved in manufacturing textile, pharmaceutical, and construction material in Uganda. You will see them in services. Ethiopian companies are also providing financial services, logistics, hospitality service in Uganda. In fact, the presence of Ethiopian businesses in Uganda is contributing to the economic growth and job creation in both countries. It's also helping to strengthen the trade and investment ties between the two countries. This is very interesting. The only thing to be happy about, number one here, is the fact that they're actually bringing back these Ethiopians back home. Okay? Because many of them, unfortunately, get mistreated. They go with good heart, hoping for a better future. They don't necessarily find that better future. Most of them, their dreams get crushed really, really bad. And I'm not talking about the Ethiopians who choose to go to Saudi Arabia through Yemen. Some of them are killed by border control of Saudi Arabia. I mean, this is desert. They go through mountains and you think you're in Afghanistan. And these people will make a choice to cross these roads to just go find a better life. And unfortunately, if you are finished in that place, who are you going to claim to? Where are you going to claim what are you going to say? There's nothing you can say. You have no right in the middle of nowhere. So congratulations to the Ethiopian government for, number one, bringing back some of the people, so paying the flights and tickets. Number two, hosting them in Addis Ababa in very good condition. And number three, providing them money so they can start something new. I mean, Africa is big. Africa has got so much opportunities. It seems like only the clever ones seem to acknowledge that. I don't know why Africans in general feel like it's just better somewhere else. Life is better somewhere else. I think if you apply the same mindset that many Ethiopians apply, whether it's in South Africa, Uganda, Rwanda, and many other countries, it's clear that there are plenty of opportunities for everybody on the continent. I mean, the same reason why many Africans go to Europe looking for a better life or to the USA is the same reason why these Ethiopians go to Saudi Arabia. But let me remind you this. This is what happens in Africa. Most Africans go looking for their colonizer's country. I'm sure you heard this before. If not, well, congratulations. Now you know. Most Africans want to go to the land of their colonizers. That's the reason why many South Africans will want to go to Britain. Ugandans want to go to Britain. Nigerians want to go to Britain. Yes, that's why you want to go to London. Everybody want to be in London. Same for people that speak French. You see Cameroonian all want to go to Paris. Ivorian want to go to Paris. Guinean all want to go to Paris. Senegalese want to go to Paris. It's like Mecca for them. It's crazy. It's like, I have to get to Paris. I have to get to London. I don't know. I'm sure this is a mental condition that needs to be broken or treated, whichever way you see it. Let me know how you feel about this. It's always a great pleasure. YouTube has told us that many of you watch some of our videos, but unfortunately you're not subscribed. So it would be really, really nice if you subscribe so you can participate in making this much bigger. God bless.